Hey guys, this is Stelly After with Close.io. Let's talk about what we can learn from children and kids about communication, influence, and sales. Right? A few years ago, when I wasn't on authority of being a parent, I have two older brothers that had kids. So I was an uncle. So I was practicing as an uncle the art of communication and influence with children, with my nieces and nephews. One of the stories that I love to tell is the amazing power of congruency and semantic density when it comes to communicating with kids. What do I mean by that? When we communicate, it's not just the content of our words, but it's also the context in which we deliver those words. So it's not just what you say, but how you say it that makes a massive difference. What do I mean by congruency? Congruency is when what you say and how you say it actually matches, right? When you say, I'm excited, and the word excited, the meaning of excited, and the way you delivered it was congruent versus, I'm excited, right? This is basically completely incongruent. What I say and how I say it doesn't really match, and it creates this weird feeling in the listener's body, even not just mine, and makes them question if what we are saying we're truly meaning, and will dramatically impact the power of our influence with them, right? So kids are a beautiful way to practice, congruency and also semantic density. Again, like words and the way the words are delivered is matching as much as humanly possible. So I'll give you an example from my niece. Here I am having breakfast with my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece. My niece is, I think, 2 or 3 years old at the time. We're having breakfast, and my niece is requesting the little yogurt drink, whatever it was called back then. And my sister-in-law is like, no way, I just dressed you up. You look as cute as you'll ever be for the rest of the day. It's morning. I'm not going to give you this yogurt drink because I know once I give it to you, you're going to spill it all over you. And my little niece was like, yogurt drink, yogurt drink, yogurt drink, right? She was demanding the yogurt drink. So at some point, as I was observing this, my sister-in-law gave in, said, all right, I'm going to bring you the yogurt drink, but I dare you, you have to make sure that you're not spilling yourself. She goes over to the kitchen, she brings that little yogurt drinky thing in this little cute package. She opens it up, and she gives it to my niece. And while she gives it to her, she's like, slow. And my little niece goes, this, and spills everything all over her. My niece starts laughing. I start laughing. My sister-in-law is all pissed. My brother is laughing. We're all having a great time except my sister-in-law. And she's like all upset about this and just like, pulling the clothes off my niece's body and brings her a new t-shirt and just, puts the new stuff on her. And she's like, this is really, I knew this would happen, blah, blah, blah. And we're like having a great time. And my niece eventually, because she didn't get to drink that much, starts to say, yogurt drink. She wants another yogurt drink, right? And my sister-in-law is like, no freaking way. You're not getting a yogurt drink anymore. So I'm looking at my sister-in-law and I'm saying, you know what? Bring her the yogurt drink. I'm going to give it to her. Just trust me for a second. And my sister-in-law looks at me and says, all right, goes to the kitchen, brings another yogurt drink, gives it to me. I take it, I open it up, and I look at my little beautiful niece. And I go, while I give it to her and while I help her drink it, I go, very, very quickly. Drink it very, very quickly. And my niece is like super quick in like super slow-mo. Drinks the whole yogurt thing super slowly, super smoothly. Puts it down, half hypnotized. And nobody understands how this happened. Especially, my sister-in-law is like, why is he saying drink it fast? Drink it super, super fast. Like, I was actually saying something that would suggest my niece acts quickly while I was actually speaking very slowly. And you see the impact of how you say it is much greater than what you say. You can say, slowly. But that's going to create all kinds of tensions with a child because the child is not going to respond to the content of your words, but the delivery. And if the delivery is all stressed out and all like, quick, it doesn't really matter what you say. They're going to respond to how you say it. It's the same thing with animals, right? If you talk to a dog, for instance, and you go to the dog and you're like, I love you so much. Oh my God, I love you so much. The dog is going to react kind of weirdly like, hey, dude, just chill out for a second. They're not going to be like, oh, he says he likes me so much. This is great. Let me get excited, right? Conversely, you could say the most horrific things to a dog if you say it in a nice, loving voice. Come here, you little shit. Come here, I'm gonna kill you today. I'm gonna eat you. Yes, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna put you in the fryer and eat you. Right? The dog's not gonna care. It's gonna have a great time with you. Because kids, what am I making a comparison to dogs? But like animals as well as little children respond way more to how we say things than what we're saying. And actually, we think as we grow up, we grow out of that. But that's not true. In ourselves, psychologically, emotionally, we still respond pretty heavily to how we say it a lot more than what we say. Just as we grow up, our conscious mind takes a lot more control and tells us, ignore the weird feeling you have about this person. Ignore the weird feeling you have about what they say. Just focus on what they say. But then still, that inner feeling is always there. And it makes you an ineffective influencer, an ineffective salesperson. If when you pitch, you're not congruent, the words that you're speaking and how you're speaking them doesn't match, your level of influence is going to go down dramatically. Let's look at another example of what we can learn from kids about how to be a better influencer and a better salesperson. Expectations, right? Huge thing. Actually, this falls also to the, congruency and semantic density point, but it's even more. It's the way that we actually, how we are like influencing others, but by our pure expectations of what we think they're going to do and how they're going to respond to what we're saying, because it's very suggestive. So here's another example. Same niece, actually. I have two stories on her. This time, we're at my mother's place, grandma, right? The niece runs around having a great time. I'm talking to my mother. We're all having a good time. Eventually, my mom turns around, looks at my niece who's standing on a chair in the kitchen and screams at her, go down, go down. I didn't tell you. You don't know. It's not okay for you to stand there. You need to come down, please come down. And she's saying that while she's walking towards my niece. My niece, what is my niece doing? She's looking at her and kind of ignoring her, doing her own thing, trying to climb up some place in the kitchen. And my mom goes and says, no, until she goes and physically takes her down. Here's what I do. I go back, I take my niece, I put her back on the chair, and I go out of the room. I sit down and talk to my mom. And my mom's trying to figure out, why the hell did I put her back on the chair? So my niece is looking at me, and eventually she forgets about it because she was wondering herself, why did he do that? And she turns around and she starts thinking about like climbing on the desk and doing something, whatever she wanted to do. And eventually I turn around, I look at my niece and I say, Auntie, down the chair, please come into the living room. And I turn around and I keep talking to my mom. And from the corner of my eye, I can see my niece looking at me, kind of thinking through, should I actually follow this instruction or not? But then, just by the weight of my body language and my expectation, I seemed to be sure that she would come down and come. I didn't look at her. I gave her an instruction. I told her something she was supposed to do and turned around and kept talking to my mom, suggesting that I completely expected her to follow my instructions. And what did she do? She looked. 3, 2, 1, and eventually she slowly but surely came down the chair and walked into the living room. Why? Because if you communicate in a way that tells the other person that you are not expecting her or him to actually respond to what you're saying, this is what they're going to do. Just purely by your expectation, you're actually going to influence the other person not to do what you want. Does that sound familiar in sales? Sometimes you say something and you say it in a way that suggests you're not expecting the other party to do what you're telling them. Could you imagine how that influences the other party in doing something you don't want them to do, right? You want to make sure that when you communicate, you set the right expectation. The way you communicate communicates that you expect the other party to respond and resonate to what you're saying. And then last but not least, and this is an example with my own kids, I've now 2. We launched our oldest about 2 years ago and our youngest boy about 4 months ago. And one thing you learn when you're a parent is empathy. You learn, although it's really tough, that sometimes when a small kid is hungry or sleepy, that they're going to start exploding and behaving in all kinds of craziness that really pushes you to your edge and pushes all your buttons. And you'll learn to actually step back and realize, wow, this is not my child under normal circumstances and conditions. This is my child in need for either food or sleep. And that's why he's crying and shouting out and acting all nuts and crazy. And my job is not to get involved in that emotion and lost in that emotion, start screaming back and behaving like a little child myself. My job is to actually empathize and realize I'm not going to get involved in all the screaming and shouting. What I'm going to get involved with is figuring out what does my child need, and then I'm going to give it to them. And that really needs empathy. That means really putting yourself in the shoes of the other and realizing it's not just what they're saying and how they're behaving. Sometimes the circumstances are bigger than themselves, and you have to act accordingly. You have to realize, wow, this is not a person under normal circumstances. This is a person under severe stress, and that's why they're shouting and screaming. That's why they're in this huge, crazily state. I'm not going to get lost and involved in this and start screaming back or feeling horrible. I'm actually just going to listen. I'm going to empathize. I'm going to tell them I understand they're feeling sad or bad, and I'm going to help them out of that state and help them to get where they want to be. So my actual main goal for this video was not to teach you about communication strategies and techniques. My actual secret goal was for you guys to get to this point and then make me a promise. Promise me to call your parents today and tell them you love them. Because trust me, once you're a parent yourself, you realize how of an incredible job your own parents did of not killing you while you were a child, and you appreciate all their hard work a lot more. Children are something beautiful, and there's not only things that we can teach them and learn and help them learn, but there's a plethora and a world of things they can teach us if we only pay attention. And when it comes to communication, there's no better group of humans to practice with congruency, expectations, empathy than with children.